Hey there, Chef D Malfi here, and welcome to Plant-Based Made Easy. Today I'm going to show you how to make a really simple, healthy, and delicious, you got it, lunch. This lunch is so yummy this time of year. We're making a carrot apple soup, a creamy carrot apple soup. It's really yummy. It has all the fall flavors in one pot. It really doesn't take that long to put together. I had to make it ahead of time so that I could show you the stages from making all of the sauteed vegetables and putting the broth and everything, the aromatics into a pot, cooking it until it's tender, and then making it a cream soup with an immersion blender. So let's get started. You guys know the drill, and if you don't, let me tell you. If you're here, let me know that you're here. Tell me where you're typing in from, watching in from. You can type into the comment box, and if you have any questions along the way, you let a sister know. I'm here to help you along your plant-based journey in any possible way. All right, so the first thing that we want to do is I'm going to give a split screen so that you can follow along with me. And I'm going to be making everything right inside of my big wide stock pot. I'm using a wide stock pot today so I can have a larger surface area, and hopefully these veggies are going to cook quicker. Hi, Natalie. Good to see you. All right, so let's turn this on. I'm going to put this onto a medium-high heat. And I'm going to actually add a little olive oil to my pan. You can use any oil that you want. Olive oil seems to be my favorite, especially for soups and stews. But here are your choices. I have olive oil, which is here. This is that dark colored oil. And then I have avocado oil here. Avocado oil is really great because it has a neutral flavor and a high smoke point. So it's really fine for making soup. But olive oil is really great because it's heart healthy and it is brain healthy. It has all those omega-3 fatty acids. Those are really, really good for our brain and heart health at any stage of life. Childhood to the elderly. Extra virgin olive oil is good for you. So I'm just going to use 2 tablespoons. And I'm not going to be too fancy. I'm not going to need to measure it. You just make sure that your bottom of your stock pot has a little oil. And if you are whole food plant-based, that is A-okay, good on you. All you have to do is add a few tablespoons of water and it will work the same way. Hi, Brian. Good to see you. Chris, hello. Good to see you. And Diane, I'm so glad that you guys are here. Chris, where are you typing in from and watching in from? Brittany Heel. Is that a location? I think it is. All right, so my oil is nice and hot. Now I want to add my mirepoix. So mirepoix is a fancy word for 3 ingredients. Now, depending on where you are located in the world, you will know that a mirepoix takes on a different form for different parts of the world. Here in the United States, a traditional mirepoix in the northern parts of the country is onion, celery, and carrot. However, if you were to travel to the south, you would notice that a mirepoix, it removes one of these ingredients. It removes the celery and in goes the peppers. So it really is a combination of 3. It's the triad of 3 aromatic vegetables that is going to be the base of any soup or stew. It's really, really great because it's going to give you a ton of fiber and a ton of flavor and be the base for really any other flavors to be layered onto. So first things first, I'll add my onion. Next, I'm going for my carrot. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the order. Just get them all in. And then the celery here. Definitely use organic celery and onion and carrot if you can find it, but celery in particular. And it's okay. Margaret, hello from Scotland. Yay, Jessica, Karen, Charisse, what's up? I'm so glad that you guys are here. You guys want to take a look at the Clean 15 and the Dirty Dozen. These are really important groups of lists of ingredients, produce that's farmed here in the United States. And the Dirty Dozen is a list of the 12 most pesticide-ridden and herbicide-ridden produce items that are grown here in the United States. And celery happens to be on that list often, usually every single season. So check out the list, you guys. If you want to check it out, you can go to Google and just type in the Dirty Dozen by Environmental Working Group, EWG. And they are a wonderful non-for-profit organization that really tests all produce grown here in the United States. And they test it ready to eat. So meaning they've washed it already, it's peeled if it has a peel, and then they test it for its chemical levels. And what they find is that it's really important to eat these 12 ingredients, these produce items, it's really important to eat those in particular organic, if you can. And then the clean 15 are the ingredients that you don't really need to worry about eating organic because they generally are clean, meaning they don't have as many chemicals, herbicides, pesticides, and chemicals that have been tested out. So they're really kind of cleaner than the dirty dozen. The dirty dozens are the ones that really, really require you should probably be eating organic, and celery is definitely one of them. All right, I'm just making sure that this is nice and coated in oil. It's basically, or water, whatever you're using, but mix it around. And now I'm gonna layer on the S&P like we do all the time. So first, we need a little sea salt. I'm gonna use a little sea salt and a little black pepper. No problem, Margaret. People misspell my name all the time. 2 L's, 1 A. That's why I go by Chef D Malfi, because my name is so long and sometimes very difficult for people. Daniela Marie Malfitano. Vidya, good to see you. Karen, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Chris Heel and Brittany Heel. It looks like those are your names. I'm glad to know that you're here. Where are you guys watching from? I'm really curious. Please type it into the box. Brian, how's Denmark? What's the weather like there right now? All right, so this is really great. Now, the next thing that we need, it's our apple. This is why this recipe is so darn delicious. It's your typical soup, but like kicked up because of the sweetness of this beautiful seasonal ingredient. So today I'm gonna use a Honeycrisp apple. Really, really important to use a red apple for this. Don't use a Granny Smith. Granny Smith tends to be super tart and a little sweet and very acidic, and we don't want that. We want actually the sweetness, because we have a lot of these aromatic ingredients, the carrot, the celery, and the onion. Those are savory qualities. The carrot has a little sweetness, which is great. It's gonna pair well with the apple, but the Honeycrisp is gonna be your best bet. So I'm just going to peel this, and I don't usually peel because I love all that fiber, but I am gonna peel it today because that fiber can kind of, the peel can sort of get in the way of this pureed, delicious, creamy texture that we're going to try to achieve at the end of our soup making experience. The last and final thing that we will do is we will blitz this with the food processor and make it creamy and delicious. But these peels, they are not going to go to waste. They're going to be my snack. I love Honeycrisp apples. But I love Honeycrisp peels. This peel is even sweet. Brian, do they have Honeycrisp apples in Denmark? Margaret, do they have Honeycrisp apples in Scotland? I've never known. Is this just a United States variety? Please let me know. You guys, I'm just dicing this. Simple, right? Super easy to dice once it's peeled because it's soft. Put it right in. Yeah. Here's a question about salt. What is kosher salt? All right, kosher salt is wonderful. It is salt that has been made kosher by a specific rabbi that can do that. Danny, do you know what the rabbi, does that rabbi have a specific name? Danny's looking it up. It's interesting. Kosher salt is actually really, really standard in chef's kitchens, in restaurants especially, because it has a really kind of a coarse texture. And we chefs, we like that because usually chefs are trained in restaurants and in culinary school with one specific type of salt that's the sort of standard salt. For me, it was Diamond Crystal Kosher Salt. That's the red box. And it is was really, really hard for me to sort of get the same level of saltiness or seasoning with any other salt because I was so used to grabbing with my sort of fingers this coarse texture. I've recently switched to sea salt because it's not processed. It's totally pure. But kosher salt is wonderful, and it has a very distinct saltiness. But to be honest, I like the sea salt better because it's cleaner. There's nothing added to it. And so, yeah, kosher salt is made kosher by a rabbi. I don't actually know what they do to it. Oh, right. So, right, that I did know that. So originally it was used for drawing out the blood and the liquids of meat. So it's really was intended for butchery initially. And that's why it's so coarse, because it's used to be spread, you know, kind of like sprinkled all over meat and to draw out the moisture. Good question. Kind of stumped me. I like that. Thank you. All right, the apple is down. Now, the next thing that I want is another aromatic. I'm going to use garlic. You can use frozen garlic. Let me show you what that looks like if you're unfamiliar. Whoa, look what I just pulled out of my freezer. I don't have it, but I just pulled this out of my freezer. Okay, that goes away. I'll clean that up later. I didn't even grab what I wanted. These are what I wanted. If you guys are unfamiliar, these are frozen garlic pieces. I absolutely love these. These usually come in the freezer section. 1 clove equals one cube equals 1 clove. This happens to be ginger, but it looks exactly the same. They make a ginger and they make a garlic. I just don't have the garlic in my freezer right now. I like the ginger ones especially. Those are my favorite. But today we're going to use fresh, and I'm going to use 2 cloves. And I'm going to go 3. These are small. Give it a whack and then remove that skin. You guys know how to do this, right? It's the old Nana trick. Give it a whack, an old Italian whack. Man, I'm laughing inside harder than I'm showing you outside. And open up the garlic by taking off the outer skin. And then I'm going to put it inside of my garlic press and just press it right into my soup pot. This is the middle of the garlic, you know, like the last couple of cloves, and it tends to be super fragrant. It's going to be really good for the soup. And I use a garlic press because it's just easier. I really don't like sitting and chopping garlic. I'd much rather put it in a press. That's new for me. I used to not like garlic presses and gimmicky things like that. I shouldn't call it gimmicky anymore because I really do love it. I found the right garlic press. That's what I was missing. The right one. Now the garlic press that you can find, any of the garlic presses that you can find are like really easy to use. So I like it because it has a wide mouth. You can add all of these pieces at once. Hey, did Chris and Brittany say where they were from? Please scroll for me. All right, so garlic is in. I'm going to just let it sit in this mixture and mix it up. Cool. Now, at this point, we really want this to get nice and super tender. We want all the veggies to be kind of cooked through. Let's pretend like 5 minutes has passed in addition to the time that we've already taken. Now it's time to season this up. So I'm going to use a little cumin today, which is really warming. I'm going to use about a teaspoon of this. And I'm also going to use turmeric. Now, 2 different types of turmeric. You could use the ground turmeric, which is how the recipe is written. This is that beautiful golden yellow, about 1.5 teaspoons, or you can use the real deal. This is fresh turmeric. And if you've never had fresh turmeric, it kind of looks like a root. It kind of just looks like ginger, but straighter. And inside is this beautiful orange pigment. And this is really good for you. So if you can find yourself some fresh turmeric, use it. Today I'm going to use ground. And I use fresh turmeric every single day in my green smoothie. So I'm going to save that for that. The ground is just as nutritious and potent. It's really good for you. And in combination with black pepper, turmeric and black pepper have an anti-inflammatory effect on the body. So I'm going to add just a little bit more black pepper. Oh my gosh, it smells amazing. Now I'm going to add my vegetable broth, 4 cups or so, organic if you can, and hearty if you can. This is the hearty, meaning it's going to have that big, robust flavor, which I love. Throw it right in. And then an herb aromatic, some type of herbaceous green. And I've been growing fresh thyme in my garden, so I wanted to show you. I have some fresh thyme here. This is beautiful thyme. It's growing really nice, and it's so happy that, like, you can see, turn the thyme underneath and look at the leaves. This is how I just read about this. This is how you can see if your thyme is super healthy and super potent. Does it have all those great and potent? Oh yeah, you can see. Do you see the underside is purple? That is how you know. Just wanting you to see it, and then throw this right in. Twani, good to see you. This makes me miss food and wine with you. This makes me miss you. And yes, I miss food and wine, and I know that we all do. Good to see you. Thank you for being here, lady. All right, so I'm adding a little thyme. I'm just peeling off the leaves. The stems can go in my compost. And then if you want just a little bit more, you can add dried thyme too. It doesn't matter. I'm going to use both, okay? Dried thyme and fresh, because my plant hasn't grown to full mature state, so I only could pick a couple pieces off. So I wanted to just supplement with the rest being dried. And that's everything. So I'm going to let this sit and do its thing. And I really just want to make sure that the veggies are nice and tender before I even start to pulse this with a food processor. Yeah. So food processors are really super fun. Charisse, you're from Chicago. Vidya's from Baltimore. Cape Cod. Karen Champagne is from Cape Cod. Yay. I love your last name. I love this. I just wanted to take a quick look. Yay. Thank you for ordering the October cookbook. I appreciate you. I'm so glad that you're finding value in this content. Yay. And Margaret, you're saying you spent the afternoon making apple chutney, homegrown apples with apple cider vinegar. Yum. That sounds good. That made my mouth water. Okay, great. So what I was saying was you want this to be super, super duper tender. You cannot pulse this with food processor until your veggies are nice and tender. Let me just check to see where they're at. I should have done this before I covered it, but it's okay. I'm going to come in and I'm just going to give it a taste. You have to taste as you go, especially soup. That's really nice. Okay, it's so good. It's actually really nice and tender. I actually might be able to just do this. I'm going to season this up just a little bit more. At this point, I've tasted it for salt and I've tasted it for pepper. It's really good on pepper. Maybe I'd add a little bit more to my finished bowl, but I definitely want a little bit more salt. And at this point, what you can do is you can clear your decks and then you can actually get your garnishes ready. Like I said, this is lunch, so it shouldn't take you all day to make this soup. It's kind of quick and easy. It comes together relatively easily. Get everything aside. So for my garnishes today, I'm going to use a little pumpkin seeds because it's October after all. And I love to store my pumpkin seeds in a glass container just like this. Why glass? Well, number one, so I can see them and it reminds me to eat them every single day. I add them to smoothies. I add them to salads every single day. I eat them multiple times a day. And I'm talking all my nuts and seeds are in these glass containers. So I can really visually see them every single time I open my pantry. I get a craving for hemp seeds or flax seeds or pumpkin seeds or walnuts or whatever it is. But hold them in a glass container and you will find you will probably use them more as opposed to in those bags. What you want to do is you want to get your pumpkin seeds in a dry skillet and just toss them. Just like toss them in a dry skillet until they're nice and toasty. And these are nice and toasty and ready to go. Show you an overhead. Oh, there we go. And I have two different varieties of pumpkin seeds here. I don't know the names. They come from different types of squash or gourds or pumpkins, and they're really, really good. They're super high in fat, the good fat, that is. And they're super crunchy. Test for your toastiness. Make sure that it's as toasted as you want it to be. It's really nummy. By nummy, I mean yummy. Okay. These are going to go into the compost. I'll hold them right here for now. And then you also want some type of yogurt. Now, I'm going to use my plant-based yogurt that I make every single week. It's in my cookbook. If you want it, it's like Greek-style yogurt. It's really great. It's so yummy. It's tangy. It's rich. This is a 12 to 24-hour ferment. I'm going to use both of them. And let's check. Let's check my soup. Let me put away the oil. I don't need you. I love to clean as I go. It's totally a must in my kitchen. I love this induction cooktop. It cooks so quickly. I'm going to add a little bit more salt. If you're interested in any of the equipment, like my little mise en place cups or my actual kitchen equipment like this, or my immersion blender, you can check out my new Amazon shop. I'm really excited for it. I got it up and running right before the holidays because I wanted you guys to have access to all of these ingredients. I was getting a lot of requests for, well, what kind of like blender do you use? Or what's your cooktop? Or what are your mise en place bowls? These little tiny prep bowls. All of this stuff is all available on my Amazon shop. There's the link. If you're wanting to just shop around, go and look. No big deal if you don't buy anything. That's okay. Just maybe get inspired from the shop. I have equipment. I have ingredients. I even have feel-good items like home goods. I have some jewelry, some clothes, obviously all plant-forward, plant-based, promoting good stuff. I love my Amazon shop. I'm having a lot of fun with it. And check out some other people's Amazon shops too. There's a lot of people doing cool stuff. I've been looking at some of the best on Amazon, and I'm like blown away by these virtual digital retail shops. They're so cool. I'm a huge shopper. I love to shop. I get this from my mama. My mom loves to shop. My mom loves to shop more than anybody I've ever met times 10 in such a good way. My mom she can find any good deal and she can make anything beautiful because she knows how to procure beauty. She just knows how to find the goods. And so I definitely got that from her. I love online shopping too. All right, I was testing, but I got a little distracted. Stay focused. It's so good. Okay. It's really yummy. It's not quite there yet. So I'm going to do what I prepared to do, which is I'm going to show you a soup base that is already completely cooked. Let me just switch my pots. This is a little bit of the soup that I made yesterday, and it's in a smaller pot, but I'm just going to use it to blend it up. So you guys here, I'm going to do it now. This is my Amazon Basics immersion blender. You can use any immersion blender. It's also called a stick blender. The reason that it's called a stick blender is because it looks like a stick. Usually has a couple different attachments. It's the top and the base. The base comes with a little tiny blade. There's two functions, on or turbo, and we want to just blend this up. The best way to go about blending a soup is to let it cool a little bit, and this is a little bit cooler, much cooler, I should say. This is like room temp. And make sure that those vegetables are totally cooked. All the apples, all the carrots, all the celery, onion, everything should be super tender. You don't want the blade to struggle. You want it to just cream up, get nice and smooth and easily blend. Now you can also do this in a blender, but be very careful. If you do this in a blender, I want you to be careful because if you put hot soup in a blender and you turn it on, that like steam can get captured inside the blender and it can pop off the top of the blender and you can get hot soup all over yourself and all over your kitchen. You do not want that. I have witnessed people experience that in kitchens and it's quite dangerous. So be very careful, okay? This is definitely not something that you want your kids to do. Or if you do, be right next to them. All right, so I'm gonna just grab it and I'm gonna like hold the pot to one side. Let me do actually a full screen here. There we go. I'm just gonna hold it to one side and I'm just gonna, oh, no, the computer got it. I'll clean it up later. This is gonna be hard because it's not that much, but we're gonna do our best.
Can I block it?
That's okay. I'm gonna use my little kitchen towel here to block it. It really does splatter when it's not a whole lot. Oh boy. This is funny. Trying to like do this with a camera on and a bunch of lights. All right, I got it. The cool thing about the stick blender is you don't have to go far. Oh man, I got my white shirt. You don't have to go far. You don't have to put this in a blender. You can do it right in the pot. You can even still do it while it's, you can do it while it's still in the pot. You don't have to like transfer it to a blender and then transfer it back. So just kind of get it going. And what you end up with is this nice pureed soup. Take a look. So I have it here. You can get this as chunky or as thin as you want. I kind of like it when it has a little bit of texture. I don't like it completely smooth. I want it just a little bit creamy and a little bit chunky. What's your preference? Do you want it fully creamy? I want to make it how you guys want it. All right, if you want it just a little bit more creamy, that's all right. I'm here to serve. Yeah, now we're cooking with grease. So once you get it at a great angle, say it again. Yeah, the expression is cooking with grease, and it just means like you're cooking hot, like you're actually cooking.
Very creamy.
Creamy. Is that creamy enough? Kind of wish I'd used my blender. Man, how do you like my new shirt that just got turmeric broth all over it? It says plants upside down. All right, well, this is as creamy as I'm going to get you, Terry, but I think you're still going to like it. All right, so this is nice. I'm going to just taste it to make sure it's as hot as I want it, and then I'm going to plate it up. Yum. Yum, yum, yum. Let me grab a bowl. This is going to be pretty on this. Grab a bowl. Make yourself start to feel cozy. Get your stick blender out of the shot. Perfect. Perfect. And then give this a serve. Yum. Serve it up. I like a big giant bowl. I want a little bit of the Greek yogurt. A nice mound. Come on. Some pumpkin seeds. You guys get into this with me, please. Looks pretty, right? Just in time for Halloween. I'm going to come at you. Coming in. Hot, piping bowl of creamy carrot apple soup, a little yogurt, a little toasted pumpkin seeds, a little yum. This looks fantastic. I'm going to give it a taste. Before I give this a taste, I want to give this food a little gratitude. I'm so grateful to be here with all of you today. I'm so grateful for this food. I hope it nourishes me. Thank you, God. Yeah, it's so good. It's perfect. It's perfect. It's sweet. It's savory. It's creamy. Pumpkin seeds are crunchy. It's absolutely delicious. I hope that you try this lunch recipe. Make it your own. If you want to swap out any ingredients, like let's say you don't have celery, but you have bell pepper, use it. Enjoy it. Make it your own. You can use any garnishes that you like. And if you make this recipe and you want to just share it, pop it, take a photo, pop it, the photo in our Facebook group, Plant-Based Made Easy. You guys, I have something to share with you. We are celebrating because yesterday we reached 2,000 global followers on our Plant-Based Made Easy Facebook group. This is really a big deal for us, you guys. We just got this group started. I had never known anything about Facebook groups before doing this or going live. And here I am every single day going live and now have a Facebook group with you guys. I love this global community. If you're in this group, thank you for being a part of this group. And if you're not, please join us. It is such an incredible group of people from all over the world. Let's see. We have Hawaii. We have all of the states of the United States. We have India. We have Spain. We have Scotland. We have Denmark. We have Thailand. We have Abu Dhabi. Literally everywhere. I love to see that plant-based is like kind of a fashionable in all countries, not just our own. That means it's important. That means people are starting to listen. So try these recipes, make them your own. If you haven't done so already, all of these recipes come right from my Plant-Based Made Easy cooking cookbook. Thank you, Rosie. I'm so glad to know that you will make this recipe because I think that you and Dad will love it. You guys, I write a new cookbook every month. This one is October. If you want this recipe and this cookbook or any of the previous cookbooks, all of it is available on our Square site. You can take a look at that. Yeah, I'm loving this. Thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful day. I hope that you'll come back for more. Tomorrow we're making our dinner recipe. I'm going to show you how to make how I make my favorite lentil bolognese. This is a delicious meatless lentil bolognese. It's really yummy. Come for that tomorrow, you guys. Come hungry. Invite all your friends. Share this with people. Yeah, have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you next time. Peace.